Welcome to Anne-Marie's Tarot Joy.
So think of us as sitting in your autumn apartment with the curtains blowing and the wind, and we're just all having a wonderful time. So with that, hey, Lana and Jeau, how are you today?
Aloha. Hey, Annie. Hey, Jeau.
Hi, Lana. It's nice to see you.
Hey.
And
you can't see her, Jeau. You can only hear her.
Well, I can see
you
her.
Jeau, can you see her?
I can see her picture.
Oh, all right. You can see her picture.
And I can hear that beautiful voice, and that's good.
Yes.
Yeah. And, I love the image of being in the fall apartment with the windows open. Because actually that's how it is here. It's a beautiful day. It's sunny. And not too hot, not too cold, and I actually have the windows open, and my sheer curtains are blowing, and I'm happy.
Oh, wow.
Well,
it's not so sunny over here, but it's nice anyway. It's fresh outside. Overcast, and the sun's trying to peek through, but typical Pacific Northwest autumn.
I'm in the Midwest.
And I'm right next door to you in Iowa.
Anne-Marie and I think, have the same weather system. It's just like
yes.
Wisconsin isn't far from here either, so we all kind of have that same thing going on.
I was going to say, as far as the windy curtains, some of my first memories of being on my own were being in a hippie apartment where someone had tapestry curtains blowing in the wind, and I just remember there were mattresses on the floor for sitting. That's one of my fondest memories about curtains.
Well, my first apartment was a 1.5 room studio in a very old building. It was a building that had been a hotel back in the 20s, and under the paint you could see the garish red and gold wallpaper, but it had the high ceilings and hardwood floors and the curtains blowing, and really your bedroom was the living room and the dining room, and you had a big double doors that led to the closet. You had to walk through the closet to use the bathroom.
Wow.
And,
wow.
Right. And your kitchenette.
That's nice.
Yeah, your kitchenette was an arch, a big round arch. You step in, and you had nothing but counters and ceiling and cabinets that went all the way up to the ceiling. It was a remarkable amount of. There was a little door that, of course, was sealed when I had the place, but that little door used to also open in the hallway where they would put the milk.
Oh, wow.
For delivery. And then you open up your end, and there's your milk.
Wow.
So it was a very charming.
How cute is that?
Yeah, very charming.
What was your first apartment like, Lana?
Wow. Well, I would say it was the one I had in San Francisco. It was a double parlored Victorian flat with a 50-foot long central hallway, and that meant that all the rooms were in a row. So the front room, I was on the bottom floor of a 3-floor Victorian, the top of Pine and Presidio in San Francisco. For people who know where that is, that's the Western Addition. It's right where the Muni Barn is, and also where the Jewish Community Center is. So I was living up there. The front room had beautiful, tall windows that are typical for the Victorians, and I had cove ceilings and 2 bricked-up fireplaces, but they were nicely done. French doors going into a very oddly shaped bedroom with a very tiny closet. And see, I had a claw-footed tub, and the kitchen was really weird because there were no counters. You had to create counter space. The sink was off in a different alcove. And then I had a back parlor, which had a beautiful rounded-out section where I had huge Victorian-type tall windows, and I sewed lace curtains to put on them, and it was beautiful. The front parlor was my music room. I had my Roland keyboard there, and it was very peaceful, except for the fact that the Muni would go by there.
I love those quirky places, where it's like, I love the quirky spaces and the unusual places where there are cubby holes and just really unique features. And, and I too had an apartment once where there was no counters in the kitchen. You had to, there was no counters, no drawers, no nothing. I had a little pantry. I had no place to plug in my coffee maker, because the outlets were on the floor.
The sink was supposed to be the pantry. So, it was funny.
And now that we are seasoned and we are cooking, we have recipes to offer today. Music before we do that, have our recipes, and then we could try a meditation by Lana. How's that?
Excellent. Sure.
That sounds wonderful.
And so while we're thinking about windows and Victorian flats and sunny windows and curtains blowing, we will listen to Jeau's trance music.
Thank you. That piece always reminds me of Io, the person that it was written about, who is someone that I knew. He was a gifted shaman from Nigeria, and it's been some 30 years since I've seen him, and I do miss him.
I think there are a lot of unique solo trance musicians anymore. Now that it is possible to be able to be, your own band without necessarily having to sit in a bar with a guitar only. You can do the singing, you can do the different things that you want. Because
everything is done separately when you record. Everything separate, and then you put it all together.
Lana was ordaining in the forest, a priestess, right? And you are a Reiki Grand Master.
Yes.
And
yes,
you are a life coach, and an ordained minister, and a cook. Tell us about that.
We not train so much, perhaps mentor them, self-initiation into the true nature of being. This weekend, our school went through an initiation rite with one of our students, and it was a special time because it's Equinox. And we think about ending a training program with that type of rite, which is only, that's like the last thing you do. It's like a gateway that actually gets you onto a new path, like the spiral home, just like Joe's music takes you on a spiral to where you live, where your precepts, where your belief system is, everything, integrating knowledge of experience into an understanding that blossoms into a wisdom and a vision. And
yes.
when we, as Melchizedek priests, are bringing in another brother or sister into the brotherhood, it isn't through a special process of initiation, which is ordination as a priest, because we feel that it is a higher calling.
And you are and a cook.
Wow. I haven't been cooking lately.
So what is it that your recipe was today, Miss Lana? Today was the plum one.
Wasn't it with plums? Yeah, the plums.
The plum chutney,
yes.
because it's fall. The plum chutney I thought was a nice one to share because, with a lot of roasted turkey, roasted chicken, things like that. It's fall weather food, I think of it as comfort food, and it's also if you like East Indian cuisines, it's a nice little chutney that picks up the flavors of curries and things like that. Yeah, and those are warming flavors in my mind, and it's chilly out where I am, so it's a nice combination for this time of year, and I hope everybody enjoys it. The relish, for everybody who's not familiar with chutneys, it comes from the East Indian cuisine, where they have condiments that they incorporate as sides to their main course meals, just to add a little bit of something that's comparable to like relish that you would put. It's not even like a jam. Even it's more savory. It's more savory and a little bit spicy. So I hope everybody will be able to enjoy that.
Would you mind if I told what the recipe is?
Oh, please do.
What's interesting, though, about the chutneys, how Lana said it's fruit, but, it's savory. And it's really interesting the many kinds of chutneys that you can have. When I was in Ontario, we went to a deli, and I had a smoked salmon sandwich with apple chutney. And I thought, oh my God, it sounds terrible, but actually it was really incredible what you can do with using different kinds of things in relish. We're so used to seeing pickles, and relish, but there are so many things you can do with this that go so well with the food that you're having.
Especially if you're grilling food. It's amazing what a little chutney does on the side. It's just great.
Okay, I'm going to give it to you. Dried plum chutney, 1/2 kg. What is a kg?
Kilogram. Yeah, I went metric. Sorry.
What is it? Okay. What is it? Oh, darn. I don't even know what a kilogram is. 1/2 kilogram of dried plums. Thanks a lot, Lana. 1 teaspoon onion powder. 1 teaspoon garlic powder. 1 teaspoon ground cumin. 1 teaspoon black pepper. 1 teaspoon red chili flakes. 2 teaspoons salt or to taste, and 1/2 cup brown sugar. 2 tablespoons white vinegar, and 1/4 cup sesame seeds, and 5 cups of water. And this is what you do. You add the 5 cups of water in a saucepan. You stir in the dried plums, the salt, the black pepper, the ground cumin, the onion, and garlic powder. And you cook them over low heat till the plums are soft and water reduced to half. Add the brown sugar, the vinegar, and chili flakes. Cook until the chutney thickens, and when it cools, stir in sesame seeds and store in an airtight jar in the refrigerator. It will last 2 to 3 weeks. What do you call that? Not a con.
Thicker than a jelly.
It's a chutney.
It's like a preserve.
It's a chutney.
Yeah.
It's a chutney.
Chutney. I think I call it chutney because it's got chunks in it.
I have to ask you one thing. How do you cook brown rice?
It's 45
well,
minutes.
Brown rice takes more water than the white rice because it's got more. It's fibrous. So I would say
isn't
I would say
double
1/2
the
cup
water?
to 1 cup of water.
Yeah,
How
it's
about
double
you, Joe?
I cook with wild rice. A lot of things. A lot of wild rice. The purple rice, the red rice, and the rule of thumb is even with the brown rice, it's always double the water for whatever the amount of rice you're putting in.
Mm-hmm.
If you're making a 1/2 cup of rice, 1/2 cup of rice, 1 cup of water, they'll give you two or 3 servings. If you want to do a cup of rice, then you have to add 2 cups of water. And it has to simmer. You have to bring it to a boil. Okay. Stir constantly, add a little bit of oil to it, a little bit of a cooking oil, like olive oil. Squirt or 2.
Coconut oil. Oh.
Well, you do that so it won't bubble over. Okay, a little bit of oil keeps it from over boiling for some reason. You get it boiling, stir it constantly, then you go down to simmer, cover it with a lid, and let it simmer for 40 minutes or 45 minutes, depending on how dry or how wet you want your rice to be. That's the rule of thumb. Always allow yourself about 45 minutes to cook your rice, if it's wild rice or brown rice. It takes a long time. It's not minute rice. It's worth it, though. It's really good.
Before we do Lanakila's meditation, I think since we have 28 minutes left, I want to get one person in here at least for a reading, and I'm going to bring in Anita from Michigan so we can all give a little bit of wisdom to Anita, okay?
Hi, Anita.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Anita.
Hi, Anne-Marie.
Aloha,
Thank
Anita.
you so much for taking my call.
Good for you, Anita.
I'm in fear of making decisions with my own life, and some of it has to do with health. I have an appointment to go to Grand Rapids tomorrow, and people are like, well, why are you driving there? Why are you getting these blood tests? Save your money, and I'm thinking I need to follow through. I was wondering if there's any insight.
Well, first of all, I want to say that if you have the feeling that you need these opinions, then you go with it. If it's your gut feeling here, I think you're doing the right thing. But let's see. Well, let's pull up a couple of cards here and see about this, okay?
Sure.
Let's see what I get. Well, what I'm seeing here is a recommendation at present that you need to exercise more, and that maybe perhaps you've been overindulging in ways that are not really healthy.
Okay.
And I think that you do this. The cards suggest that you do this because you might feel isolated and kind of lonely. So you're going for the comfort things, comfort foods and stuff that might not be all that healthy for you, and possibly even some habits that are contributing to your concerns. And what I'm seeing is what this is leading up to is there's a man. I see that there's a man in your life, or one that's soon to be in your life, who's not a very successful person, and rather stubborn, and somebody who might speak without thinking about your feelings. And I just kind of want you to be on the lookout for that. That I really feel that if you do need the medical tests in your gut feeling, if you think, well, I got to have these tests. The cards are saying here that really, then go ahead and have the tests, have the second opinions. I believe that you can't have enough of those because, doctors only know by what they see, and they only know by your history, and sometimes they don't really look at what's going on. So sometimes it's really helpful to have those second opinions.
But my parents used to have their own business, and they're elderly, they're in their 80s. And yes, I am in a relationship with someone I wasn't expecting to get into this summer. He appears to be successful, but I'm kind of looking at what am I doing with my decisions for my life. I'm kind of reaching out.
That's
I really
what you
just
have to
need.
do.
I think I really just need an MRI of my right hip, which I think I've needed for 5 years. But you have to go through the hoops and whistles to get exactly what I think is the problem. And I am on medications. And I've started going back up to the narcotics and then starting to come back off of the narcotics. And there are people in my life who have, there are people in my life who are saying drink and do that, and I'm trying to get clear. Pardon me?
Why don't we give this over?
I do have some advice before you go to Lana. I want you to closely look at your diet, because I did have some problems with my own hip. And though I eat natural, I had a bout of inflammatory arthritis, and it was caused by my sensitivity to nightshades. Even though I was eating homegrown food, I was consuming too many things that were in the nightshade family. Just something to think about.
What is a nightshade?
Nightshades are things like tomatoes, potatoes, peppers.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, and I quit smoking, and that's in the potato family. And
that's
I
a good
am eating
idea.
a lot of tomatoes. And I am eating tomatoes, potatoes. And what is the other one? Tomatoes, potatoes, and what?
Peppers.
Peppers. Okay.
Yeah, if you have a sensitivity to these plants, cooked or whatever, right, you should minimize your intake of them, and try to get more greens instead,
right,
like green beans and spinach and salads and things that give you chlorophyll.
Okay.
There's also a product called Simple Greens that you can get. It's a dry powder from a health food store. You can make smoothies with it. It comes under different names. Different companies make this product, but it gives you like a whole day supply of your greens, in like one scoopful. You might want to check that out. But look at your diet and look at how you've been eating over the past few years. And I do know from my own personal experience, I had a similar problem. And when I reduced my nightshade intake and got a little more exercise and cut back on the things that were comfort foods, the easy things, and
right,
I started to see a huge improvement.
Lana, there's a woman that's having celebrating her first Crohn birthday, and she would like to have a wisdom reading. Would you like to take that,
Anita,
Lana?
I hope we were helpful to you. Huh?
You were. Thank you. I appreciate it.
This is from Jenny from Massachusetts. Her name is Jenny.
What's her?
Jenny, and
Hi,
I'm going to
Jenny.
give this one to Lana. And she says, "Hi, Anne-Marie, Joseph, and Lanakila. First time listening and enjoying the show very much. Just celebrated my first crone birthday a few days ago, and if you are doing readings today, I would so love to receive some insight on what type of healing work you see me doing in the near future, and any messages. I am aware that I may have a psychic and healing ability, but I also, she also wants to be able to do some, have a message, Lana. So what message do you have for her, Lana?"
Jenny, aloha. I see nice things for you. You are blessed. I see that quite clearly. You have a big heart, and you know how to run your life from your gut. You have that in your heart. Cronehood has given you that wisdom from the experiences that you've gathered to date. And so you aloha yourself for that. But I do see that in your gut, there's something that's unsettling you. You're angry at something or someone at this moment. Directly or indirectly, it has sparked this conversation. But to spin it on a positive note, it looks like it actually is spurring you in a direction where you'll actually be more of a healer in terms of a counselor. You will be trying to reconcile people's imbalance between their heart space and their head space, something that energy workers do and life coaches do as well. So if that is the direction that you wish to go, then my advisors say go for it, and we wish you well.
And
aloha kea kua.
okay, we have a meditation by Lana.
I am Lanakila here in service to you. Take a deep breath. Pause. Feel your body shift into balance. And now release the breath. Are you living your life? Are you taking care of your body? Are you listening to you? Remember, you. Take care of the body. Ask the body what it needs. Use energy tools to get answers from your body. Use muscle testing to get answers. Use your gut to get answers. However you do it, ask the questions and get the answers from you. You are your hero. You are your best friend. It is your own opinion that you should seek. Welcome the new energy that's moving across this, our beloved Earth. Open your arms up and welcome the changes. Take all of the love within you and allow it to flow out into the world. As you flow your love out into the world, more love flows through you from earth, sky, and you. Flow the love with a smile, a touch of laughter. Move the energy with love. Move it through and around you with love. Allow the new energy to move with love, to release all fears and concerns. You are a soul. You are forever. What is to fear? Fear itself? Remember that love will attract love just as fear will attract fear. Which do you choose? I suggest that you always choose love. When your day is difficult and uneasy, just stop. Consider where your feelings and thoughts, your thinking are at in the now moment. Are you thinking positive, upbeat thoughts? Can you bring into your thought process a happy song that makes your feet tap? What about a cherished memory that brings a smile to your face? When you find the smile or the song or the feeling, bring it into this now moment. You help your loved ones, your family and your friends by the way you live your life. You show them how to help themselves by the way you conduct your life with ease and joy of loving yourself. Throw your arms wide and give yourself a huge hug of love. Pass that feeling of love, for you, along with physical or energetic hugs to all those in your life, feel me hug you with all the love and appreciation. From here to you, I am Lanakila, in service to you. Malama Pono.
That's beautiful, Anna.
It is beautiful. Thank you. I really enjoyed being here with you and Lana. We were here together last time, and it was a really great experience.
I needed a drink of water there. Woo. Excuse me.
Water, it's really funny. People don't drink enough water. Last fall, and actually I'm still recovering from it. It was a problem with my left hip. And I had to look at the differences in my diet. And I had realized that even though everything I was eating was homegrown from the garden, it was a lot more nightshades than what I normally would eat in my life. I was never a fan of tomatoes. I'd have like maybe one slice on a sandwich once a week. And all of a sudden there are tomatoes all over the place, And and then I had this horrible thing where I was in pain, and I was just crying because what position I got in, I had this pain, and it took a long time for me to recover from it, and I still have numbness from. It's like my nerves had gotten fried from all that pain, and it's. But I had to look at my diet. Mm-hmm. I had to look at what was different. What was I doing? And a lot of people don't take the time to do that. They go to the doctor gives them medication. The doctor doesn't even ask you what you're eating anymore. They used to a long time ago. But now they go, well, take this, take that, and let's give you a test and do this. Oh, my God, look at that. But so, they don't say, gee, you know what? What are you eating? Try cutting this out and seeing. I think nowadays you have to have a combination of a nutritionist, a health food expert, an herbalist, and everything, to really get a good idea of how you can heal.
Part of the reason is that the food isn't nearly as quality as it was when we were a lot younger. And
we can get into the whole thing about the genetically modified organisms. You know, the things that are in our products nowadays, they're genetically modified that have, you know, I mean, the idea of buying organics, when you figure, well, gosh, when I was a kid, everything was organic, but now
it was called
you have to
grown
pay a
out of
higher
your backyard
price.
garden.
Yeah, yes.
And you're right. You're right about water, because like the Tin Man, we all start to need more and more lubricant in our joints as we get older, and water does do that, as well as I can tell the difference. I don't know about you, Lana, but I can tell the difference in my skin if I don't drink enough water. You know,
Yes,
I swear
definitely.
that I swear that I have more wrinkles, or my skin looks drier, if I'm not drinking lots of water. And if I drink a lot of water, I shine, and you can tell it's got to be doing the same thing for your joints. It's got to be doing the same thing for your digestive system. So,
definitely. And if you throw in some lemon with your water, you're doing your body a ton of good. With every
Start your
glass.
day with a squirt of lemon in your water to flush out everything. You know, make sure that you get like the old-fashioned old cod liver oil. You know, a teaspoon won't hurt you, and it gives you the lubricant you need to get lots of good water. Nowadays, with all the fracking going on, it's really hard to. Yeah, fish oil is good. The idea is to really listen to your body and try to get and respond to the feedback. It's like, this bothers you, don't eat it. My recipe, really quick, was for raisin. This recipe calls for pudding. Now, I'm going to make it easy here, and I'll go with a one package of Cook and Serve vanilla. Okay, you can make your own pudding. I do, but I'm not going to put anybody through that. So the recipe is one package of Cook and Serve vanilla, pudding mix, a cup of milk, a third cup of water, a cup of raisins, a half teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 and 1.5 cups of plain yogurt. Now, what you do is you combine the pudding mix and milk and water. You cook over medium heat until thickened. Then you remove it. You stir in the raisins and vanilla. Let it cool. You stir in the yogurt, and then you spoon into individual dessert dishes, and you chill for about 2 hours. If you want, you can garnish it with whipped topping and sprinkle with nutmeg. The raisin pudding was something that my mother made, and though she was Sicilian, this was something that came from my father's side of the family, which was German and Polish. This was something that she would make in the fall. And it was one of these things that had a nice, sweet, little spicy flavor to it that was very comforting to have.
I just wanted to add a real quick recipe, not to forget our squashes, because I do love autumn squash. And acorn squash, to me, can be a meal in itself if you just take an acorn squash and you cut it in half and you fill it full of butter and maybe some brown sugar, and you wrap it with aluminum foil and you bake it for, I don't know, about 35, 40 minutes. And you will take out something that is just about as good as pudding. It is just a wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, I love that. A little cinnamon and the fall bounty is when you have to harvest your gardens, and it's the last of the. I mean, we're eking out the last of our tomatoes here, and in about a week or so, we're gonna have to rip them all out and just harvest all of them. But this is the time that we harvest all of our food, and we either do the canning for the winter, because this is the end of the growing season.
We're going to have our Victorian, so we're going to have our Victorian flat with the windows open and the curtains blowing. And on the table is brown rice, and we have what is it again, Lana?
A turkey with chutney. Ooh.
With the plum chutney. Dried plum chutney.
Plum chutney. And we have our rice pudding. And our raisin pudding, and we have our green acorn squash. So for those of you that have been with us today, we hope that you have a chance to try some of these wonderful recipes. We want to thank our guests that have come by today, and we want to thank Lana, and we want to thank Joseph, who is also lantern bearer at Keene. And we want to let Lana, where can people reach you?
You can reach me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lanakila, or spreadaloha.org.
All right, and so get Joseph as Lantern Bearer at Keene, Lana at Facebook, and you can find me at thecallingoflight.com. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.